Standby like Q's 2 through 33, sound 1A through 7. On deck, standby Q actors. Electrics, kill the blue run lights, please. Like Q 2 and sound 1A. Go.
From Arizona Theater Company, this is Hang in Focus with your host, Sean Daniels.
As someone that grew up in Arizona, it's a great way for us to share the work that we do worldwide.
And featuring co-host Chanel Bragg.
That is our responsibility, is to reflect what is going on in the world.
Streaming live from the State Theater of Arizona.
Let's do it. Let's really use this moment to re-envision our...
Welcome to Hang in Focus Live with Sean Daniels.
This is the new Arizona Theater Company. I'm just glad that you're here.
On today's show, Sean sits down for a conversation with Hamlet from All Puppet Players and Matravius Avent, the voice of Audrey II in Arizona Broadway Theater's production of Little Shop of Horrors.
And hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go ahead and bring out my co-host, the always amazing Chanel Bragg. Chanel, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Sean. How are you doing?
I'm good. You know, what's so cool about this week is that it has been a full week.
Yes.
For Arizona Theater Company, as we had our first in-person workshop of a play. But I'm also excited then also to talk to some of the other people in our community about their return to doing live theater and other things that are going on. So it's a real exciting time for the arts in Arizona as we gear back up to returning to live performances. And I'm just excited to chat more about that.
So let's talk about exactly what we were doing this week. So we had the luxury to work with Stephen Drunkman, who is incredible. And we were able to take like a more in-depth look and perspective of Prue Payne. So now this is the second workshop we've done, correct?
So, so it's actually very sweet for it to be our first workshop back. We did a workshop 2 years ago when I first got here. I was like, I love this play. I'm sure we'll probably eventually do this play. So it was the very first ever play reading that I was the artistic director over that we did in Phoenix. We invited people. They cried, they laughed, they fell in love with it. We continued to talk about it with Steve, and we said, great, let's announce it in our upcoming season. We announced it that we were going to do the world premiere in the 1920 season. And actually, the last thing that we did in terms of new works before we shut down was Steve came to town. We did an event in Tucson, people to get to know Steve. We went to 3 spring training games, which felt gratuitous at the time, but little did we know it was the last baseball we would see for some time. And then Steve went home and we started casting conversations, and then the world shut down. So really the last thing we did before the pandemic, it was very sweet for it to be the first thing returning. And we've had, so much success online, right? 300,000 different people have tuned in to be able to watch the stuff we did. But it was amazing to be, last night we did a reading and to have live performers performing with each other, off of each other, with an audience that's there, a playwright, furiously drinking wine and scribbling notes in the back to be able to get through the stress of doing it. And laughs in unexpected places and the energy that gets shared. It was a really beautiful thing. I still feel like I'm on a high from last night.
For sure. No, absolutely. And I thought it was such a beautiful process to be a part of. So I got to be in the room. So what people don't understand is Sean is actually directing this piece. And so Sean was kind of helping lead. And I also want to talk about our cast, our beautiful cast that was there. We are giving a lot of local love. And so some of your Valley favorites were in the room with us. We had Katie McFadden, who's wonderful, Chris Erickson, Michael Thompson. And then for those of you that know Paris Rhodes, used to be the stage manager out at TheaterWorks stage. She came all the way from Tokyo just to do this reading. No,
she's amazing.
She happened to be in town, and so it was nice to reconnect with all of those, close Arizonan locals, and seeing that energy in the room too has been really wonderful to see people that I admired their talent perform across the last 4 days and really delve in deep into these characters. And so, yeah, that was a real win, I think, as well, too. It's exciting to see them all work.
Yeah, 7 of the 9 artists in the room were Arizona artists. So I think that's important because that's not always been the way that Arizona Theater Company has rolled. So we're excited now at this moment to be continually lifting up local artists and also like not just us lifting them up, but like they did great. And they really helped to improve the play, and our audience was thrilled to get to know them and to find out that they're from here.
Absolutely. And your wife, Veronica, plays the doctor, and it's incredible. And so it's just exciting. So we have some pictures, actually, to show of our workshop and of us around the table. And thank you, Alex, for syncing those up. And
these will be pictures of us. So, but people don't know
yes.
is that, oh, here we go. Oh, no. These will be pictures of us around the table. So the way a workshop works is that at first we just gather around the table to read it, to be able to see like, where are we? How are things? And then we make adjustments as the week goes on.
Right. No, for sure. And so let's actually play a little mini video that's going to show a little bit of the pictures and some of the content that we captured this week.
Love it.
Propane by Stephen Druckmann. Cast of characters: The Paynes. Propane, late 60s, public intellectual. Thomas Paine, early 30s, budding novelist.
Call me Gus, everyone does. And you?
Well, out there, well, everyone calls me Prue. Though honestly, I prefer Prudence.
Then in here, you will always be Prudence. Why didn't you never get married?
I was fond of a few, but in the end, they didn't make sense on paper.
Who cares about paper? Bird cages are filled with stuff. You think too much.
Can I tell you something? I admire your hands.
Flashbulb.
How did we know our hands would... I mean, we didn't use any words.
Yeah.
Wonderful job.
Yeah. Yeah. So the way a workshop works, right, is that when a playwright has a play, right, they work on it as best they can on their own, but you never really know exactly how it's going to be received until you add in the final ingredient, which is the audience. And so it's in some ways like a strange kind of focus group where we get to work on it. We get to work with each other. We get to hear it out loud. The playwright gets to make adjustments. Steve Druckmann, our playwright, made adjustments. He made cuts up until right before the reading that we did. And then you do it in front of an audience to see what plays or where people are excited or confused or where they storm out about. And actually, one of the amazing things last night was that not only was everybody there, but they were riveted in their seats. You know, we had people that told us I have to leave at 8. You know, we're like, okay, fine, whenever. And 8 kind of came and went, and nobody moved because they wanted to see how it was resolved at the end. So a really fantastic evening.
Now, as a director of it now twice, the reading, is there any discoveries that you had that were different this time around?
Yeah, you know, Steve and I talked today about what did we learn. And, you know, but drastic things change in a workshop. So actually the role that Veronica played, the doctor, had always been a male role in all the workshops before, because Steve had this idea that Prue, who is this kind of leading first wave feminist, would be surrounded by nothing but men, right? And that would be her breakthrough that she would have to do. And, you know, for this time, we're like, well, let's try it as a woman. And it really unlocked several different new flavors in terms of how it could be for her to have someone else to be able to talk to have another woman to be able to converse with. And so we found that to be incredibly valuable. So, you know, some of it is the words, but some of it is big sweeping decisions like that change the scope of the play in terms of what it is. So, but we're grateful, you know, we're grateful for all the artists. We're grateful for the time to be able to work on it. And so, and Propane will be in our 22-23 season. I know that sounds so far away, but it is actually not that far away. So we'll get to share it with everybody then.
That's awesome. And it also sounds exciting to know that we're already talking about planning for the future.
Oh my God, we're already there. And I do want to give a shout out to Chanel, who was the producer for the week. Oh my God, at one point we had a little kerfuffle in terms of how the reading was coming together. Nothing on our staff's fault. And we had things we had to get from Tucson early in the morning. So Chanel got up bright and early, drove to Tucson, picked things up, brought them back. I think you were up for a long time yesterday. It is the work that has to be done. And so we do it so that our guest artists get to work as smoothly as possible with us.
But it's for the love of theater, though. I mean, it's also worth it. It was almost like a great adrenaline rush. They're like, oh, I gotta hurry up, be on time for rehearsal. I gotta make it. And thank you for that experience. And it was so rewarding to see everyone in the room last night laughing, crying, like a lot of them crying also. It is a comedy, but it has some very touching moments in it that I think we can all identify with. And so I can't wait for you to see Prue Payne when we produce it in, the next season.
I know.
Right. So we have, number one, I also want to give a quick shout out to Alex for putting together that awesome little video of the different footage. I literally just emailed them a ton of pictures and videos and said, make something great. And so Alex is fantastic. So thank you for that video. But without any further ado, so we love to also do community highlights, which is really important to us here at Arizona Theater Company, to highlight our friends, our sister, theaters that are in the community that are doing some great work. And so we got a little bit of a heads up that there was a season announcement that was done by one of my favorite theaters that exist. So without any further ado, please come on out, Hamlet.
What is up, everybody?
From All Puppet Players. It's so good to see you.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thanks
now,
for
a lot
coming
of
on
people don't know that we had technical difficulties, and my fans will know that it's definitely my fault. We tend to have a lot of technical difficulties, so it's definitely my problem, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. You just have all this beautiful energy that's pouring off of you.
Oh,
so
thank you very much. It's because I have someone's hand up my butt.
that might be why.
Yeah. Can't help but have some energy, huh?
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your theater, when you got started.
Yeah, so we started about 11 years ago in Santa Ana, California. We took about $3,000 out of the bank, which was my savings, and we spent it all on puppets. And we had an idea that Hamlet would be hilarious as a comedy with puppets, and we put it on in a very small little theater, 40-seat theater in Santa Ana, and we sold out. And then a bigger theater picked us up, and we ran for 7 weeks, and we sold out. And then we moved to Arizona, and we started all over again.
That is incredible. So you've been here producing for how many years now then?
9 years now.
Oh, God,
9
amazing.
years.
Yeah. Yep, 9 years. 9 years and over, I think, 25 shows now.
That is incredible. So what you're saying is I need to get out there and I need to see the Die
Yeah, what
Hard
the heck
Christmas.
is going on?
I
Well,
know,
that is our biggest seller. Die Hard, A Christmas Story has become a tradition here in Phoenix. We're in the BMO building in the Central Arts Plaza in Playhouse on the Park. We've been there for a while, 200-seat venue. And Die Hard is definitely our most ruckus show ever, and we sell out every year.
So did you had a season announcement recently? Is that what this is leading to?
Yes. So basically, we cut short. We were starting our brand new season at Mesa Encore Theater. We partnered with them to do Shrek, and that was the final show. We literally closed our doors, and then everything closed their doors back in 2020.
Okay, so that was also your fault, Hamlet.
That was my fault. I shouldn't have even showed up on stage. And then that was stupid because that was a show we did with humans. So that's on me. But now we're coming back in October.
Oh, that's exciting. And let's show the people what we're doing. So this is your actual season announcement that we have.
Yeah.
So talk about the different shows that are featured here.
So we're giving everybody an opportunity to get vaccinated, which is important, and sort of get back on the mend. So we're waiting until October to open up our season. And then we're going to come right out of the gate with Creature from the Black Lagoon. We've got a lot of special effects and some video we're going to be using with that. We're really excited about that. Our creature is coming from a special effects artist who basically is one of the top ones. He's building our creature. Then we bring back our Die Hard, A Christmas Story with our, Bruce Willis puppet and our Alan Rickman puppet. We also have a white elephant gift exchange night. So if you want to buy a $5 gift and show up, the whole audience switches gifts. That'll be December 11th. We're almost sold out of that show already. So get it.
I've
And
heard
then-
about the White Elephant gift exchange. That's like, how does the entire theater participate in that? Like,
Oh, it's a madhouse, but during intermission, everybody grabs their gift, and then we start swapping gifts, and everybody just throughout the entire audience swaps a gift, and then we all open them, and they're all like little kids with a puppet watching on, and they all walk home with some $5 gift that everybody almost always loves. And there's a lot of handmade gifts from a lot of our fans, so people really go all out. It's a super fun night. And then in February, we pick up right where we left off. Reservoir Dogs was going to be our first show after Shrek, but now we're
So
doing
good.
Reservoir Dogs in February with all dog puppets. And then we
Wow.
go with our 10-year anniversary show, which is Hamlet, which I star in.
that is wonderful. And I think we have an electronic trailer too.
We
of you.
do?
All right, let's go ahead and play it. Let's cue
Let's
it up.
do it!
It's showtime.
I could not love this season more. This
Why,
is the best thing.
thanks.
It is
This
amazing.
is amazing. This is amazing. How do people go to buy tickets, find
Yeah.
out more?
Yes, so go to allpuppetplayers.com and you can get tickets. Now, of course, we've got puppets, but we are not at all for children. 17 or older are allowed in, and that's where we put the limit. We hate kids. We literally hate them. So we're the puppets that liked the Muppets and kept waiting for them to say the F-bomb, and they didn't. So then we showed up, and now we're here in Arizona, spreading anarchy all over the valley.
So what
Love
brought
this.
you to Arizona though?
I grew up here, and then I moved to California, and then
That's what-
sort of a job opportunity showed up, and I found myself relocated here. And now, honestly, I don't think I would still be alive if it wasn't for the Arizona audience and the crowds here. Truly, they really have helped us stay afloat, and I think we found our tribe.
Oh, I
It's
want to see
incredible.
all those shows. All 4 of those shows sound amazing.
I'm like the
Well-
White Elephant night is the 11th. I wrote it
December
down.
11th, yes.
that way I
Get your
can go
tickets
get
now. I think we're
tickets.
almost sold out already.
Okay, I'll go quick.
Yeah, get them. Well, thank you again for having me on. I think a lot of people don't know that there is an adults-only puppet theater in Phoenix, and we are that group. We're all pop culture and 80s centric, and we love puppets.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, we will be there. There's no way we're
Oh,
missing
for
this.
sure.
Well, I
for
can't
sure.
wait to see you.
No, but
awesome.
truly,
Hey,
thank you,
so
though.
Hamlet, every guest that comes on, we have a
Yes.
word that we ask them to leave us with to be able to. Where are they? What is your word for the day?
I'm interested in this.
Anarchy.
Anarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
on brand.
I could have left you. I could have left you with fisting, but I didn't.
I
It's not too late. It's not too late. You can
That's
change it.
Boy, I've heard that before.
Nah, just
Thank you. So sorry. I'm so tickled. Thank you so much. I think anarchy is a good word, though. Why anarchy?
Well, I'm a person or a puppet, a fabricated American, if you will, who is not a big fan of live theater, if you can believe that. So for me, the only live theater I enjoy is some that really possess anarchy. So anytime I see something I've never seen on stage before, normally that sticks with me. And that's our goal at All Puppet Players, to leave you with something you've never seen before on stage. And we definitely do all we can to spread a little bit of anarchy amongst our patrons.
That's amazing.
Perfect.
I've never
Perfect.
seen a season announcement on the underside of a toilet cover.
That's right. You haven't. Take that, Phoenix Theater. Bring it, Vincent. Bring it.
I'm like, okay. Thank you so much, Hamlet.
Thank you guys again for having me.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you
look
so
forward,
much.
Sean, next time you need someone to read anything, please feel free to cast me. I'll drive down there.
All right.
Hey,
Perfect.
all right.
Perfect.
But you have to
Yeah.
bring, you have to Hamlet. Hamlet has to show up, and maybe Bruce Willis.
We'll get Bruce. We'll get Bruce. We got a Joe Biden too. We'll bring Joe.
I cannot wait.
Well, thank you again for having me.
Thank you, Hamlet. Have a good day.
Thanks, you
Thank
too.
you so much, Hamlet.
Helen.
That is incredible. That's a skill I just do not possess, and I cannot wait to take a puppeteering class.
But I love that. I love that season announcement. That's my favorite I've seen so far.
It actually is my favorite I've seen so far. When the dust came off the seats as they
That's
lifted off the thing, I was like, that is incredible. That was so awesome. All right, well, let's fast and furious. So we have our next wonderful guest. So we're keeping it all puppet all the time and giving a lot of love right now to the community. And so our friends at Arizona Broadway Theater Company are doing the Little Shop of Horrors right now. And we want to bring on Matravius Avent, who is the voice of the plant Audrey II.
Hey.
Hello. And we also want to bring on Arizona Broadway Theater's production coordinator, Jamie Parnell. Hello, Jamie.
Hi.
So
Hi.
glad to have you both on. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us. So glad to be here.
So I'm curious. You all opened 2 weeks ago, right? So what's, tell us the story of returning to live theater. What was it like? Was it terrifying? That first audience? Give us I want to know all about it.
Matravius, you take that one.
Well, it feels amazing, as you could imagine, to be able to go back in and put on a full production, especially of Little Shop. It's such a fun show, and people just want to come and laugh and have a good time, and we feel that on stage for sure.
Were you nervous, like the first time walking back out in front of an audience? Is it really like riding a bike, or
Well, I think for me, I'm a little lucky in that I get to ease back into it. Being the voice of the plant, I don't actually have to be in front of people. So it's kind of a nice little transition for me. But I'm sure Jamie thinks.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how you describe it. It just feels like, it's that thing that you've learned to live with. All of a sudden you've lived without it for so long, and then you go back in and you think you know how much you miss it until you step on stage and you're so overwhelmingly full of gratitude and joy and everything else you'd get from what we do. And it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So I also want to mention to our audience that Jamie is also playing the dentist in this production.
Yeah.
So not only are you wearing the hat of, production coordinator, but you're also the dentist. So you're balancing this new title, and you're balancing performing full time, something that I am starting to know and understand. Yes. Check that out. That leather jacket is everything. And all the reviews are coming in saying great stuff and talking about how it's such a homage to, Steve Martin's legacy of that role. And so we'll delve into that a little bit. But as far as the plant is concerned, so Jamie's going to be able to help us understand the plant a little bit and talk about that. But Trey, I really want to ask you, so seriously, what kind of dramaturgy does one do when you're playing a killer plant? Like, do you buy like Venus flytraps or something? Like, did you do any kind of research or watch the movie
No,
a
I,
bunch of
I can't
times?
say I can't say that I've done any of that, but it's I did get a really cool opening night gift from Renee Core, who is our Audrey. She got me a little, Funko Pop Audrey II, which I wanted to get so I can just like have it as a memento of the show and just hide it in the backyard somewhere among our other plants and just have people kind of discover it as they come across it. So I did get that done.
And I've
But
been
as
to
far
your house, so he has a ton of plants. So actually, it would be
Oh, nice.
a nice surprise for someone,
Yeah.
or your dog. Your dog might mistake.
Right.
Very, very cool. And so then when you are like, talk about where you are, like what's your setup? Because are you on the side of the stage? Are you backstage in like a designated area?
So I'm just off of stage left, just past the wings there, and I have my music stand and wearing my body mic, but I have lights and I have a little audio controls in my headphones, so I can give myself as much of the track as I want, as much sound effect or cast that I want, and that's an actor's dream to be able to control all of those little things. So it's great for me, and I can still see the plant from where I am, and I also have a monitor so I can see the stage head on as well. So it's a really cool setup for me.
I was going to say, you're wearing inner ears. Oh, sorry, Sean.
No, I was just going to ask, what's it like to get used to acting with a screen that's somebody else somewhere? I mean, we've all done that on Zoom, right, for a year and a half, but you have to, like, in the moment, everybody else is in the room but you, right?
Yes.
And you're reacting.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but I think I'm pretty close enough to the action that I can still see everything that's going on. And just like kind of Zoom, where you go to a Zoom meeting, but you don't have to turn your camera on. It kind of takes all the pressure off. You can just focus on doing the one thing, which is delivering all the text. I can make all the ugly faces I want. I can do a little two-step while I'm singing, and it'll still be a good show,
That is so cool. So Jamie, how does it work? Like how
Now
a person is operating it?
Yeah. There's only so much technically we're allowed to say. The amount of work that has gone into these puppets is unbelievable. They're massive, and we are licensing the show through MTI, and they have different options that you can do. They have different companies that license these out that you can rent from. Mm-hmm. Some of them have, like, the largest, we call her Audrey IV, but the largest of the puppets end up, like, I think it can be controlled by up to 7 people at a time. That's unbelievable. Great. We're just having the one, Matthew Greasegrabber. He's
what a cool name.
Yep. He's a new Arizona artist. He just moved here. He's a student at ASU, and he did Godspell with us. It's a very, very physical show for the largest Audrey II in particular. He basically has to stand in a squat with the puppet on him the entire time to make her move. And of course, you want to, watch your lower back. You don't want to hurt anything. So it's a lot of leg work that he's doing, standing with his legs really, really wide in order to have the stability. The smaller one, the third one that comes out towards the end of Act 1, that one's different, and he's sitting down for that, and that's a lot of arm movement. So he's getting a full body workout by the time he's done. Those 2 show days, I mean, oh my gosh, he's so tired, but it's really been fun to see he and Trey working together, and hearing Matt ask Trey how many, so many questions about, like, what are you thinking here? What are you planning on doing here? How does this feel? Just so I can sort of anticipate. But also saying, like, hey, I kind of would like to do this. Would it be possible for this? And Matravius has been so gracious in that as well. It's been a really wonderful relationship to see bloom here. And it's always fun when they take off the drop cloth after close for renovation. The audience, without fail, every night goes, oh! So that's always really fun. The amount of work that has gone into these puppets as well is to see them up close when we first unpacked them, it was so exciting. There were 3 of us here, and they brought the truck and they brought them out, and we got to unpack it, and it was just so cool to be able to touch them and to see all the inner workings, which I'm so sorry I can't share with you, but
That's okay. That's okay.
Well, people can come see the show, right? If they want to see
Absolutely,
what
yeah,
it is,
yeah.
right? That's the place that they should come. So where should one go if they want to see the show? What's the...
Please go to azbroadway.org, and that gives all the information for Little Shop of Horrors, as well as our next show that opens on the 13th, the Spitfire Grill, which runs through September 5th. I know, it's wonderful. What a script, what a score.
That is fantastic. And so just so our patrons can kind of see a little bit of the plant, I think you guys did a TikTok recently.
Yeah.
Where you have the plant in it. Can we cue that up so that they can see?
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. How would they know? How would they know? How would they know?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That is, how would they know though? They don't. Like,
True.
you can walk out at curtain call, they just would have assumed you were in there huffing and puffing. Am I the only silly person that thought about that man in a squat and what happens if he got a Charlie horse during the show? Knock on wood.
Yep, I know.
Knock on wood. Give him all the bananas.
Yeah,
And we have some pictures from the show also, right? To share.
Oh,
Oh,
wonderful.
that'd be great. Let's see those.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you know Blair.
Yes. Oh, they're wonderful.
That's our smallest, Audrey, and that one's done also by Matt, just a hand in that one. There's 4 separate Audrey puppets, actually.
And that's Isaac Wesley Wilson, isn't it?
Uh-huh, it is.
Local fave. Go check him out. Oh, this is beautiful.
Oh.
Fun
And
fact,
Lee
this-
Treat did the lights for that. She's so multi-talented. I mean, there's nothing that girl can't
Lee
do.
was the other person in the TikTok video.
Yep.
Wow, it looks really beautiful. Little Shop of Horrors is literally probably the only reason why I'm in theater at this point. I wore that
Really?
VHS out. I watched
love
it all the time. Yes, I was definitely dedicated. So, all right. So, what's next for you guys? Have a show tonight?
Yep.
We do.
So
I'm already here, so I just have to walk into the dressing room, you know.
If I could ask one quick question, if you were to play a different role, this is for both of you, because like Jamie, you're playing the dentist, and Matravius, you're playing the plant. But if you could play any other role, what would it be?
That one's you first.
I mean, Audrey, obviously.
Yes,
It would be Audrey. Yeah.
that'd be awesome. I would love to see a guy play Audrey.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. All right, and what about you, Jamie?
Well, I play the dentist, but then there's 7 other characters that I do. And there's one in particular that Skip Snip, and he's only on stage for a moment, but he just was born in a moment of panic, and then the quick change didn't go really well, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So it happened, but I enjoy it. So I would like to play him for an entire show. Just that. See what happens. Yeah.
Well, we leave our show with our guests providing a word to us. So as you heard, Hamlet left his word, and it was anarchy. There's a word that's resonating with you deeply, that's about you in this moment right now, or you with the show, or so what would your word potentially be? And we'll start off with Jamie.
Gratitude. Yep.
And why?
I mean, I think we're constantly, last year we kind of had to try to find the gratitude in the difficult moments because it was the safest way through, I think. And now it's all around us all the time. Everywhere you look, I'm so pleased I'm in this building. I'm so pleased I'm working with these people and doing what I love. And Yeah.
That's fantastic. And Matravius.
Piggybacking, my word's fortunate. You know, we're very lucky to do what we love to do, you know, and to to be able to do that daily for an audience that just enjoys it, that just eats it up every night. It's amazing. So fortunate for sure is my word.
Well,
yeah. Well, I mean, that we discovered that last night. It was like just to be back in the room with people, for them to be, moved by what it is, for us to be able to share that with them. You're right. We probably took that for, we probably weren't as grateful as we should have been for all the years we got to do it. And now we can't wait to get back and do it again.
I'm so excited for you guys. That's just awesome. That's so exciting that you got to last night.
I know. We're a couple weeks behind you, but we're getting there. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Good.
Thank you for warming up, everybody.
That's right.
We appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for coming on today's show. And I will definitely be going to see, when do you guys close? Tell the people when you guys close so we can make sure we see it before.
We close next Sunday matinee. I'm horrible with dates. The 8th. I have to look at my calendar. Yep.
Great. Excellent. Well, thank you both for coming on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much for having us.
There's a lot of exciting puppet stuff happening here. Oh, and then Chanel disappeared. Oh, well, okay. Well, we have a fantastic episode so far. I want to thank you all for being with us. And we're going to toss it now to the call board. Thank you for being a part of Arizona Theater Company. Thank you for being a part of the arts in Arizona. As you can see, we have a tremendous amount going on. And we will see you next week. Thank you all so much.
This is your call board for July 30th to August 5th, 2021. Hi, I'm Assistant Digital Producer Alex Hollis, and thank you so much for joining us today, where Sean sat down with Hamlet from All Puppet Players and Matravius Avent, the voice of Audrey II and ABT's production of Little Shop of Horrors. Be sure to join us next Friday, August 6th at 4 p.m. Arizona time for another exciting guest on Hang and Focus Live. Now let's hear from the Giving Corner.
Hi everyone, my name is Stacy J. Cavalier, the Development Events Manager at Arizona Theater Company. On today's Giving Corner, we wanted to give a shout out to the Arts Foundation for Tucson and Southern Arizona, who recently awarded us with a Project Creosote Rebuilding Grant for the Arts Award. These funds will go so far in helping us return to the stage stronger than ever this fall for our 54th season. The Arts Foundation's mission is to advance artistic expression, civic participation, and equitable economic growth of our diverse community. And through this award, we are proud to stand alongside them in fulfilling this important mission through our own programs and productions. Thank you so much, Arts Foundation for Tucson and Southern Arizona. Can't do this work without you. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.
Now it's time to find out what's happening at theaters around Arizona. Alright, this week let's head down to Tucson. 12 Directors 12th Night is a new theater venture in Tucson. For this event, 12 directors will direct scenes from 12th Night, but they all have to use the same cast. This online-only event will be available starting August 1st. You can check out more at facebook.com/12directors 12th Night. Tucson Museum of Art is bringing us contemporary Latin American art. This in-person event will be available for viewing through September 26. You can learn more at TucsonMuseumofArt.org. Now let's head up to Phoenix. Scottsdale Community Players is bringing us Reefer Madness, the musical. This in-person event is only available to see this weekend starting tonight and then through August 1st. You can learn more at greasepaint.org. Theatricos is bringing us Native Gardens. This in-person event will be playing through August 7th in Flagstaff. You can learn more at theatricos.com. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, please tell a friend, pass it along, like us on Facebook and Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube, ring that bell so you can be notified when we air live and to see our latest content. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you next week.